first fish of the morning here. Feels like a decent one. My son Parker and I, he's coming up. Oh yeah, that's a beast. We are on a central Minnesota lake. We are gonna break video for a second to net this and we'll get back to it. All right. We stopped recording to net him because it's just two of us. That's a 5-pounder, maybe even a little bit more there. We'll get him off, get a picture of him, and then I'll go through the rig a little bit and what we're doing. All right, got a measure him, got a picture. That's a 20-incher, about a 5-pounder. I'll put him back and we'll talk about what we're doing here. For the fun, pal. Okay, we are on a central Minnesota prairie lake, and we are fishing Wacky rigs. The lake we're on has a weed line about 9 to 11 feet is about where it ends. It's not a dirty lake, but not crystal clear either, so you can fish that depth no problem. So we're fishing. This is a stick worm or a cigar worm. This one happens to be a Gary Yamamoto Senko brand, so a lot of times these are just called Senkos, but anybody who makes soft plastics makes them. They call them lots of different things, but it's just a 5-inch worm, just straight, no appendages, no curly tail or anything. We are putting a O-ring on there. Got a special tool to slide an O-ring on there where we want it, and then hooking a VMC Wacky hook through that O-ring. I've got a liter of fluorocarbon for stealth and abrasion resistance. I've got that to a small barrel swivel to help with line twist, and then 14-pound Berkeley Fireline crystal on a this is a St. Croix Mojo Bass 7'1", medium power, fast action, with a Fluger President spinning reel on there. And we are just pitching that bait out. I'll kind of demonstrate what we're doing here. We just pitched that bait out. We've got visualized about where that weed edge is. We're staying just off the weed line. We throw it just into the sparse weeds. We let it sink. And those ends with it hooked in the middle, those ends kind of flop and flip as it's falling. Once it's down, then we just lift it up, let it fall again. Sometimes on the lift, we'll shake the rod tip a little to wiggle it and bounce it a little bit more, let it fall. You want to watch your line. A lot of times, like with that one, you'll see your line jump, or you'll even feel it pull tight, and you just kind of lift up and there's weight on there. Sometimes it'll jump and take off and they'll almost set the hook for you. It just depends how aggressive they are. Once you're sure it's a fish on there, you get that rod tip down towards them and give them a good hook set. We'll stay after. That's a nice first fish, 5 pounds. Don't know if we can keep up that average size, but we know there's some nice ones out here. Hey there. Got a little bit smaller one here, but still a good fighter. And we did set the bar kind of high with a 5-pounder on the first fish. Oh, he's hooked on the bottom jaw. It's a little tricky to grab them, but I got it. So we'll get a picture of him with that worm hanging out for an article, and then we'll let him go. Hey, got another one. Oh, it is another pike. Yeah, we'll show a little video we didn't show on the last one. Real often they pick up this Senko, but this guy did. Just a bread and butter 2-pounder. Got him hooked in the outside, so that's good. Take my hook. Gotta catch it. Sometimes crappies will pick these up too. Like I said, have walleyes. I've even had walleyes pick this thing up, especially early in the year. There we go. Yeah, it's a bread and butter, 2.5 pound northern. Hey, not sure yet here. Oh, he's coming up. It's a nice bass. Pulling some drag. Thought maybe it was gonna be a pike for a minute. But it's a good one. He's coming up again. No, I think I can get him. He seems like he's hooked pretty solid there. Oh, well, drop him. There. He doesn't want to quit. It's a 18 and a half inch there. And see how fat these fish are on this lake. They're feeding well. That Wacky hooks, that's almost a circle hook a little bit there, and then that barb in there that usually holds on to him pretty well. We'll get a picture of that boy and let him go. All right, thanks for the fun, pal. And then I've got video. Hey, and my son got a nice one here. He's using a tan-colored Senko, Wacky rigged. Ooh, that's a good one, buddy. That's 2.5, 3 pounder there. Nice fish. I'll let him go. Thanks for the fun, buddy. And away he goes. Nice. Yeah, nice one. He didn't splash you too bad. Good job, buddy. Air high five. Get back out of here. Hey, my son, some of these lakes around this area, including this one, have smallmouth on them. And they love those Senkos along the weed edge too. And there's a nice smallie. Attaboy, Parker. Yeah, smallie's got an attitude about him. Good idea, just hold him down. And oh, that's a beauty, buddy. We'll get some pictures of that beast. And we'll let him go. I'll stop the video in here to get a picture and we'll let him go. All right. Thanks for the fun, pal. How did he hit that? Did he slam it pretty good? Just picked it up and took off with it? Yeah, that's what they do. Smallies are aggressive. Nice job, buddy. Hazy, smoky morning here, but we're catching them. Hey there. A little bit smaller one here, but still a nice fish. Couldn't catch up to him. He drilled that Senko and he picked it up and was swimming towards me, and I'm like, there's weight there. Couldn't catch up to him to get a hook set, but finally did. For the mouth, and then use pliers for that. We'll get a picture of him and let him go. All right, smaller one, still a nice fish. He picked up that Senko and took off with it pretty good. Hey, I got a big pike on the Wacky rig Senko. Yeah, we'll wind up netting him here in a minute.
Should I turn it off?
Yeah. There you go. Well, I had said earlier in the show that a lot of times you don't catch as many pike on the Wacky rig Senko, but that's 4 pike to go with all the bass today. That's a pretty nice one there. That's a, look at the picture of that, about a 26, 27 incher probably. Hey. Got another one here. Jumped once, gotta look at him. He looks pretty decent. Goes on the blue Senko. Yeah, a couple pounds, not bad. It can't all be as big as that first one I caught, but some of those ones Parker's got. But of a blue with green fleck. Oh, June bug color is what I'm doing. So we're stacking them up in pretty good size. This is actually one of our smaller ones. All right. Oh, we saw this one jump a couple of times. This is a beauty. That's a 5.5 pounder there, buddy. Ooh, yeah, look at that tub. Oh, good, he jumped down on it. Wow. Yeah, we'll get a measure on him and then get a picture and put him back. We'll be back after the measure and photo. All right, 21 incher, really 5.5 pounds. Thanks for the fun, buddy, on that tan colored Senko. I've been alternating a green and a blue, and it doesn't seem to matter. Nice job, pal.
That was a big one.
That was a beastie. Got another pretty nice one here on the blue Senko. Bend down and try to lift this one, I think. I'm a little heavy to swing again. Oh yeah, there we go. And that kind of June bug, I think they call it, but it's blue with kind of lighter blue or green fleck. That looks good. We'll get a picture of him and let him go. 18.5. Oh yeah, he's ready to go. Thanks for splashing me. My son Parker's got, oh, that's not a bad one. 2.5 pounder. Back on that kind of brownish, tannish, kind of a crayfish colored Senko. Pick that up and run with it like most of them have been. Okay, I figured out you had too much weight. Good job. Alright. Thanks for the fun, buddy. Good job, pal. Alright, sun starting to, clouds disappear and sun trying to burn through the Canadian wildfire smoke here. We're lighting them up. Alright, just going to go again over the equipment we used a little bit today. Again, as far as the rod and reel, I like using spinning gear for fishing weightless, wacky rigged Senkos. 7 to 7.3, I like. This is a 7'1" St. Croix Mojo bass. Medium power, should be plenty strong for you. And you want a fast or an extra fast action on it. That's a tip that doesn't bend a whole lot. You can jiggle that and whip that thing around then and get, without the rod bending and giving up the action, and then you get a good hook set that way. Good spinning reel. I've got a Fluker President on there. I like 14-pound line. You could probably get by with 10, just depends how heavy a cover you're fishing in. And then I use a barrel swivel at the end of the Fireline crystal, and then a leader. This is 20-pound test fluorocarbon Berkeley Vanish to a Wacky hook. This is a VMC. I mainly use 2-aught and 3-aught, but if you're going to be fishing in heavier cover, you could go down to a 1-aught to hide the hook a little more. They do make weedless versions with a weed guard. You can hook directly in the middle of your stick worm or your cigar worm, but the fish wind up pushing that up the line, and that worm gets frayed pretty bad, and you wind up losing a lot of the baits. So we fish with a band on there, a little rubber O-ring, plastic rubber O-ring, and then we put the hook through that, and then the O-ring takes more of the beating than the worm does, and you don't lose the worms as much. I would recommend getting, this is a little tool, you put the O-rings on there, and then you just slide it up over, you put your worm inside the end of the tube is hollow, and then slide the worm, or the O-ring onto the worm wherever position you want it. This tool is like $6 and came with a bunch of the rings, and then you can buy more of the rings. I keep my hooks in containers here, and then keep a good supply of the baits. I don't get real fancy on colors. I like to have something with blue or purple in it, and I like to have something green, pumpkin, and then something tan. That's really, I mean, they make a lot of colors, but that seems to be the colors that work the best for us anyway. But I keep a few packages of each color in my box. And then you just pitch that out, and you can toss that in sparse weeds like cabbage and coontail and wiggle around there and grass, but then you can work it on the edge of weeds, especially if thicker weeds like milfoil as well, wherever the bass happen to be. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Fishing and Hunting in the North Country. Parker Smutka behind the camera and I were glad to bring it to you. Don't forget to try those Wacky rig Senkos. Active bass, grab them when they're feeding actively if you want to use them, but I always have a saying, if you can't catch a bass on a Wacky rig Senko, it's time to go home. So when they get a little tough, that's definitely the way to go when they're concentrated somewhere on a weed point or a weed edge or a rock hump or something specific. You can catch a crazy number of them on them, and you catch some pretty nice fish, as you saw today. We caught largemouth, smallmouth, and pike. We also have crappies hit those things. We have walleyes hit them at deep weed edges, and I've had a couple of muskies follow them in as well, so they catch everything. For Parker Smutka behind the camera, I'm Troy Smutka, Great Day in the Water Guide Service. Thanks for watching this episode, and we hope to see you at our next one. Until then, good luck, and I will see you out there somewhere.